Abdominal fat, which can also be called visceral fat or belly fat, is a very serious harmful agent that is found in majority of human. Now, the excess accumulation of this fat is dangerous to the health of the individual. It is not a fat that you have to be taken lightly. Rather, you have to look for whichever way to get it rid from your system, as it can have serious health risk on us. And we have something also called subcutaneous fat, and this should not be mistaken with the abdominal fat, as it happens to be a fat that lurks beneath the thigh as love handles. But the abdominal fat is that fat that accumulates around the visceral organ in the abdomen, in the belly, and it has a lot of serious health risk. So, and this abdominal fat is not what you can easily shed off by just little exercises like sit-ups. What are the major causes of accumulation of abdominal fat? The first of it all is the heavy or excessive consumption of sugary food, which is what majority of us we enjoy these days. We love something sugary, everything sugary, and whichever time we see or we are opportune to come across something like cake, candies, we fall in love with them, we eat them without taking caution of what might be the aftermath effects of this food we eat. So from the research, it has been found out that the heavy and excessive consumption of sugary food can be a very serious factor in accumulating abdominal fat. So we have to be very careful in anything that we put into our mouth. Heavy alcohol consumption. Some people have taken consumption of alcohol as a normal lifestyle. Alcohol and taking of alcohol in excess can bring about accumulation of this harmful fat. Inactivity. Majority of human, they think they derive pleasure from being so inactive, sitting in an office for about 8 hours, not standing, no any physical activity. They consider this has been considered as a kind of fulfillment in a life, whereas it isn't. It is a risk factor to accumulating this harmful fat, which can pose a serious health hazard on you. Menopause has also been a factor indicated and are implicated as one of the major reasons why some women accumulate abdominal fat. Wrong gut bacteria has also been a factor that bring about accumulation of abdominal fat. And stress. This is what majority of human pass through on a daily basis. Stress is also a factor that secretes an hormone called cortisol, which can bring about accumulation of abdominal fat. Low fiber rich food consumption can bring about accumulation of abdominal fat or belly fat. Others are fruit juice, and this abdominal fat accumulation can also be hereditary. It can be passed down the family line and tree. What are the health hazards of abdominal fat? I think I've been able to put some here. First, I'm putting here is heart attack. It has been researched that a significant percentage of men that have accumulation of excessive abdominal fat are opposed to having heart attack. and it also bring about an increase in high blood pressure. Even though um you don't have it, what it can take you to have high blood pressure. When you subject your life to what can invite accumulation of abdominal fat, directly or indirectly you can give yourself high blood pressure even though you don't have any family history of such. And besides, and also diabetes is also a factor, is also one of the hazard that the abdominal fat can deposit into your system, and these are lifelong diseases. So when we are that kind of person that can be, I beg your pardon, if you are that kind of person that you are tending towards building up abdominal fat in your system, it's not in order to avoid all these lifelong diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma. We should try as much as possible to do away with what can bring about accumulation of this fat in our system. As you can see, it can also bring about breast cancer and colon cancer. How do we get rid of this abdominal fat? First is you have to cut your intake of sugary food. Yes, you have to reduce the intake of sugary food as much as possible in order to avoid the accumulation of this abdominal fat. Reduce your alcohol consumption if at all, if you can stop it, though it might be a very bit challenging, but it is what is possible. We should engage in more regular active exercises. So when you engage in more regular active exercise like push up, sit ups, one thing that you have to take note there is that it has to be regular so that your brain can program it as exercise. Oh yes, the other time I talked about the wrong gut bacteria as one of the factors that bring about the accumulation of abdominal fat. When you take regular when you have a regular intake of probiotics, such as those that contains inulin, can bring about a reduction in your abdominal fat, as it regulates the balance between the in your normal body flora. So we should reduce stress as much as possible, though it is what we cannot do without, but we should as much as possible try to reduce the stress